61. In the final screenplay, after Parker leaves the meeting, Ripley asks Ash about the missing Dallas computer access key. Ash asks Ripley if Dallas didn't give it to her. Ash claims that Dallas never gave it to him. This further increases Ripley's suspicions about Ash, because without the mother computer, Ripley is unable to check Ash's information. No footage of the scene has been leaked to the public. In the final film, Ripley just states that she got the rights to the mother computer. 62. After Dallas's death, the meeting between Parker, Ash, Lambert, and Ripley continues. After Parker leaves to refuel the flamethrower, Ash also leaves and Ripley calms Lambert down. Ripley asks Lambert if she's ever slept with Ash. The question refers to Ridley Scott's original idea of space travelers actively having sex with each other. Lambert responds in the negative, which fuels Ripley's suspicions about Ash.
I don't like it any better than you do, but it's the only way that's gonna get us all out, okay?
Well, I'm sorry, but it just seems like you're trying to kill us one by one.
Lambert, I promise you. I promise that if it doesn't work, I'm gonna get us all out of here, okay? Trust me.
All right.
I'm gonna ask you a question. Have you ever slept with Ash?
No. Dare say I don't think he was particularly interested.
Okay, look. I want you to come into the bridge and just plot our course. I want to see where we are, okay? Make sure we're still on course. Okay, can you do that?
Yeah.
'63. Airlock scene. There was also another scene in the final screenplay with a vent in addition to the scene where the crew tries to kill the alien. This scene was really long. In the scene, Parker returns with the flamethrower's methane salvos in the B-deck corridor, and by chance he notices the alien near the airlock. The alien doesn't notice Parker. Parker whispers into the comm system to Lambert and Ripley, who are on the A-deck bridge, to open the main airlock door slowly, and when Parker says, "The inner airlock door must be closed quickly," Ripley opens the inner door of the airlock and the green light comes on in the B-deck airlock. Enchanted and curious by the green light, Alien moves inside towards the airlock. Once the alien is inside, Parker tells Ripley and Lambert on the comm system to close the inner door. The door begins to close behind the alien without him noticing. Suddenly, a loud klaxon wail. The alien gets scared and jumps back inside from the airlock. However, the alien's limb manages to get caught in the door, which continues to close. The alien screams as its limb shatters and acid bubbling from the wound begins to bubble out. Immediately, the acid begins to corrode the door. The alien rips itself free, leaving a crushed limb in the doorway. The alien runs away from the scene into the B-deck corridor towards Parker. As he runs, the alien knocks over Parker, who injures his head and is knocked unconscious. The airlock's inner door closes, and at the same time, the outer door of the airlock starts to open. The inner door continues to corrode due to the acid. Ripley asks after Parker. Lambert also asks what happened. Ripley states that the inner hatch is sealed and the outer hatch is open. The acid in the inner door eventually creates a small opening from which the air begins to be absorbed into space, and the air in the space begins to be compressed. Alarm sounds start to scream and warning lights to flash. Lambert asks after Parker. Ripley decides to go and see the situation. Parker is unconscious in the corridor near the airlock antechamber, where the acid is corroding the door more and more. Ripley arrives from a deck down to B deck to Parker, who is now semi-conscious. Ripley inquires what happened. Parker can't say anything, but she points to the corroded door. Now the gap has grown significantly larger and continues to grow. In the corridors, the red warning lights flash, while at the same time the air in the space is sucked out of the corroded hole. The Nostromo starts an automatic alarm mechanism, where the ship's safety bulkheads close automatically, and the ship starts pressurizing the spaces again. A safety bulkhead that separates the airlock from the vestibule and the corridor where Parker and Ripley are is unable to close due to one of the methane canisters from the flamethrower Parker is carrying, which has dripped between the doors after Parker fell. In the space, the pressure drops quickly. Ripley's ability to function quickly deteriorates. Her nose and ears begin to bleed. Ripley manages to knock out the jammed tank and a safety bulkhead closes. Lambert watches the emergency lights on the bridge in distress and calls after Ash and Ripley. Finally, Lambert orders, "Ash, get the oxygen. Meet me at the airlock," and rushes away from the bridge towards B deck. In a vacuum where the oxygen is running out, Ripley goes with the last of his strength towards the emergency panel at the end of the corridor. Ripley tries to activate the door to open a passage to a pressurized space with oxygen, but she fails. Lambert appears on the other side of the bulkhead and activates the door. The space where Parker and Ripley are is depressurized. Oxygen flows into the space. Parker regains consciousness but is unable to breathe properly. Ripley can neither move nor breathe properly. Lambert and Ash go with the oxygen tanks to help Parker and Ripley. After receiving supplemental oxygen, Parker and Ripley regain consciousness. The runaway vapor cloud freezes outside the Nostromo. Ash asks Parker what happened to Alien. Parker says they didn't catch the alien. Something warned it and it got scared. Ripley blames Ash for alerting the alien. Ripley tells Lambert to find out how much oxygen they lost and how much is left. Lambert wonders about Ripley's accusations about Ash. Ripley says she will be able to prove it when she gets to Mother. This then leads to the scene in the finished film where Ripley uses the ship's computer and learns about Special Order 937. Due to the negative pressure, Ripley unexpectedly bleeds from the nose in the final movie after confronting Ash in the lounge. This suggests that the airlock scene was filmed more than the existing footage. Nothing has leaked from the scene to the public except Ripley and Lambert's actions on the bridge.
What is it? Parker.
It's outside the main airlock door. Now, open the door slowly when I say. Then close it fast and blow the outer door. Stand by. Okay, now.
Parker. Going down. Stay here. Ripley. Ash.
Ripley. Ash, Ash! Get some oxygen and get down to the lock, quick.
There are a lot of things involved in the scene that would have affected the final film, its plot. A wounded alien's behavior and ability to terrorize the crew would have changed dramatically. The damage to the Nostromo ship caused by the acid leaked from the alien would also have affected the plot. In the original scripts, the ship's oxygen levels appear as a central factor in the plot. In the film, the oxygen level is mentioned, but it does not create an escalating problem like in the screenplay. Ridley Scott also designed Lambert's death into the scene. All the ship's safety doors have not closed, and Lambert comes to Ripley and Parker at that point, while a safety bulkhead is still open because of the methane tank. When Lambert tries to remove the barrier, he is sucked against the inner door of the airlock where the corroded hole is. The great overpressure crushes and sucks Lambert out into space through a small hole. In the meantime, while Lambert is plugging the leak for a while, the Nostromo's pressure inside the ship is temporarily equalized, and Ripley manages to remove the barrier from the A safety bulkheads. Ridley Scott originally wanted to shoot the scene, but technically shooting the effect where Lambert is absorbed through a small opening would not have been successful. A very similar scene is finally shown in the movie Alien Resurrection 1997.